Thanks to Toastmaster Elijah for giving me this opportunity for being here. I'm coming all the way from India, Hyderabad, and I'm a part of JPQ Toastmasters Club, which is the home club of Distinguished Toastmaster Deepak Menon. I'm the president of that club currently and part-time PR, so VPPR. So multiple roles, and I'm here to enjoy because I was guaranteed free food and a lot of fun. But I'm guessing I don't see any food, but I do see that I'm going to have a lot of fun. So thank you so much.
Surely. Thank you, Toastmaster Bahar. Let's please welcome Rona. Rona, could you just unmute and tell us where you're joining us from? And hello? Yes.
Hi, good evening.
Hi, Rona. Good
Yeah,
evening.
I'm a friend of Ricky, and I'm sorry I'm still at work at this time, but I really love to observe, and hopefully I have time to attend more time for this Toastmaster. I'm sorry, I have patience now. I just want to say hello
Thank
to all
you.
of you.
It's wonderful to have you. Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right. And most of us are all Toastmasters. Very good evening to our wonderful members. Toastmaster Abu Bakr joining back after a long time. Toastmaster Nuha, your picture is beautiful. And yes, with that, let me introduce to you the captain of our ship today. And to introduce him, I need to open the page because he's a person who cannot be expressed in just few words. And it's my honor and privilege to welcome our Toastmaster of the day today, Distinguished Toastmaster Sridhar. Distinguished Toastmaster Sridhar has been a passionate member of Toastmasters since the past 24 years and was one of the members who played an important role in the formation of the District 79, both in the Middle East and then Saudi Arabia. He has been chartered member, mentor, and past president of Taj Toastmasters Club, and he has been instrumental in achieving the President's distinguished status for Taj Toastmasters Club during his tenure. He chartered MECA, Mecca Kingdom of Saudi Arabia Toastmasters Club for senior finance professionals with 40 members and was elected as the chartered president. He has mentored innumerable Toastmasters to win speech contests and was instrumental in reviving several Toastmasters Club and infusing enthusiasm in the clubs by bringing innovative programs and quality judging in contests. He is a certified in his professional life. He's a certified public accountant from California Board of Accountancy and actively coaches students for passing the US CPA examination. He worked as manager internal audit and assurance service in Fawaz Al Hokair Fashion Retail and currently works as a project manager, Oracle ERP Fusion implementation in SMSA Express. His passion is to touch lives by sharing knowledge and serving and uplifting people. He's a man of action and believes in less talk and more work. He is a man of unimpeccable integrity. And it's my honor and privilege to welcome Distinguished Toastmaster Sridhar. Please welcome him with a big round of applause. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, presiding officer. I'm really overwhelmed by your introduction. I just said choose from it. You read. Okay. And in fact, I'm really honored to be a member of Horizon Club. And today's theme is emotional intelligence. You know, in this current world, IQ doesn't work. You may be brilliant, go 100 out of 100, but if you cannot deal with people, if you're not emotionally intelligent, you are nowhere. In any walk of life, whether it's family, whether it's work, or any organization, if we are not emotionally intelligent, we do not know to connect with people because everyone is different. And to achieve your goals, to bring team together, you need to be emotionally intelligent, not in like IQ, intelligent quotient is not, it is just, it's not required. So it's not really required. The point is, if you are emotionally intelligent, then only you can manage teams, manage people. You see, all the CEOs, all the CFOs, or any top leader, he has to be emotionally intelligent. If he's not emotionally intelligent, then it goes back to failure. Any sports team, you say, sports coaches, any, whether it's football or whether it's cricket or any sport, the coach is only his emotionally intelligence makes a lot of difference. For example, the Pakistani captain, Imran Khan, because he was emotionally intelligent, he could win the World Cup and win against all top teams. That's what we require. The book on emotional intelligence by Daniel Goleman. This book is a Bible of emotional intelligence. And we need to really read this book. Emotional intelligence is where how we connect, emotionally understand the other person, and then communicate. That is what emotional intelligence is about. If you understand his emotional intelligence, you understand, like Stephen Covey says, you understand and then be understood and relate to him at his level, then a person succeeds in life. Only when you're connecting with people, then the communication happens. So hence, being emotional intelligence is really, really now this is the need of the hour of people in the time of stress, in time of today. Without delaying further, I think the secretary did not read her minutes for the last meeting. This was missed. The secretary, do we have to do that? Secretary, read the minutes of the last meeting. Who will be doing that? Nuha Madani. She is there? Not there. Okay. Now we have a, a, a thought master who is a strategic planner and willing to learn more and a coolest communicator. Please help me welcome Umair Maksud, who will be the thought master of the day. Is he there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, Toastmasters. Good evening.
Good evening.
So basically, if you don't have a great sense of meaning in your life, having lots of money or anything would not help you increase the level of happiness and joy for you. So if you live in the emotions of stress, frustration, overwhelm, or worry, much more than you live of gratitude or love, so then life isn't as meaningful as it should be. So one of the easiest way of feeling content and relaxed is to remember God, and it relieves you of the stress and worry, and you can easily remain focused on the true purpose of your life. So basically here is an exercise for you in the present tense. Write a statement of gratitude for the numerous blessings that you have and read it for 30 days and read it slowly in a calm, confident, and relaxed manner, and you will be aware of the reason of all the reasons you should be happy for. So your statement would start in this way, something like this, I am so happy and grateful now that, and then will come your gratitude statement. So try this for 30 days and you will feel more relaxed, happy, and calm as compared to you were before. So back to Toastmaster.
Thank you. So in short, our thought master says we should have the attitude of gratitude. Am I right? Yeah, attitude of gratitude. When we gratitude, grace flows into our system. That was, that's what it happens. Our now the grammarian and the word master is an entrepreneur, the transformation mind coach. She helps people to realize what and in actualization the best version. A person who believes in following the passion with compassion, loves to create opportunities to enable progression. For her, always there's a solution, no matter what the problem is. She has been a member of Toastmasters for 2 years, and currently she is the president of Mumbai Communications Toastmaster Club. Please help me welcome Sangeeta Bhattacharya, presiding officer of the day today, to help to let us as a word master and a grammarian.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. I will just quickly share my screen and share with you what I have researched today for this meeting. So the word of the day is sentimental. It's related to feelings rather than reason. For example, when you ask which club will win, my sentimental favorite would have to be Horizon Toastmasters Club. Sentimental also means expressing or causing gentle emotions. For example, he gets sentimental and starts crying when we talk about his mother. There's some synonyms I've picked up, such as effusive, emotional, tender. The antonyms are dispassionate, unsentimental. I've picked up this phrase of the day today. It's in fine fettle. It means in very good condition. I would encourage all of you to use the word of the day and make your own sentences if you are not using it while you are speaking. So those of you who are watching can also create your own sentence and share it in the chat box. Thank you, and over to you.
You're also an R counter, I think, no? According to the agenda.
Ricky is
Ricky, yes, our champion of champions, a certified public accountant, and he has visited more than 40 countries. What I like about him, he's always smiling, smiling, smiling. And the smile really captivates the audience. Please help me welcome Ricky Chudian, the R counter of the day.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day, my very dear DTM Sridhar. You made me feel so sentimental by that introduction. And I always feel sentimental. Also, I get sentimental whenever I see in our meetings so many people from different countries and different clubs. Well, tonight I am your counter, and it's my pleasure to be counting all of these filler words and sounds and long pauses. I will be monitoring these items because, you know, when we are all something like that, when we are not preparing our speeches, we don't think ahead before we open our mouths. The tendency is we use these filler words and sounds in our speeches. And in Toastmasters, this is something that we want to avoid, if not at least minimize. So I will be handing my report over later on in the third part of our session when called upon by the General Evaluator. Thank you so much. Back to you, TMOD.
Thank you so much. So kindly, yeah. Now we have a general evaluator who is a rising star. She says, an old soul and young body. And what I like to think, that's what she likes to think. And her goal is to live up to her name. She is a finance graduate and has 2.5 years experience in Price Waterhouse, India. And she's currently working in a startup. She's passionate about traveling, eating, sleeping, and exploring. But always, she likes good conversation and a bit of dance over coffee or coke. Please help me welcome Bahar Marwa, the General Evaluator of the day today.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, leaders, and dear guests. as a general evaluator, I have the toughest and maybe I guess the easiest job today. And that is to evaluate everyone in the meeting today, whoever takes up a role and participates. I'll be giving my evaluation report towards the end of the meeting when called upon. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bahar. So she wants to live up to her name. Yeah. So now, we have a timer. Very, very important role player of the day is timer. The timer will be played by our a person who says he's very busy, but he never misses a Horizon meeting. Please help me welcome Abu Bakr Siddiq.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Sorry, my video is not on. I have an elaborate setup to hide the camera so that I can show the cards. I will be the timer for today. A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'll be noting down everybody's time, including the evaluators, and I will be notifying the time remaining using green cards, yellow cards, and red cards. And at the end of the meeting, I'll be sharing my report in the chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So now we have introduced our meeting leaders. The meeting leaders, without them, they are the pivot on which the meeting stands. If the meeting leader perform well, then only our meeting goes good. So now we start the first segment of the Toastmasters meeting. That is, for the guests, we have three segments. The first is the prepared speech segment, and the second one is the table topics. The last is the general evaluator. So now we embark upon the prepared speech session. What is the prepared speech session? That the Toastmaster works according to the project, prepares for the speech, and delivers. Today, our first speaker will introduce herself. Because she's going to. Sangeeta, do we have the evaluators say the criteria, or should I introduce the speaker directly?
The evaluators are there. Do you have just one?
Michelle have.
Michelle has, yeah. They can share it.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is that normal in our clubs here, and
yes,
we call the evaluator to tell the criteria of the speech.
Yes.
We do it
here as well. Yeah. Yes.
So the first speaker will be evaluated by, who's it? Michelle. So Michelle, could you please explain the criteria of the first speaker's speech?
Yeah. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmaster and dear guest. Today, I will be evaluating TM Musab. He will be doing his first project as icebreaker. The purpose of this project is for the member to introduce himself to the club and learn the basic structure of public speech. Good luck, Musab.
Thank you. Please give a round of applause to Musab Amam Saeed. He will be presenting for the Pathway Dynamic Leadership Icebreaker. He'll be introducing himself.
Thank you. And finally, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Now, most of my new acquaintances know my name and little bit about me, but this is part of my project to give speech and introduce myself in this meeting. My name is Musa Muhammad Saeed and I'm from Pakistan. And I belong to a beautiful place in the world called Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. in the small and beautiful district known as Haripur, place of my birth. At the age of 13, I moved to Karachi and resided there for almost 8.5 years. And now I'm working in Saudi Arabia since 2015. At first, I was an office assistant, and now I'm managing the warehouse and inventory of the warehouse. But now I'm in Toastmasters, so I'm going to share why I joined Toastmasters. In the year of 2008, when I finished my 10th grade and before took admission in college, me and one of my uncle made plans to go to an English language institute. I went there for a few months. I learned how to talk confidently. The best part of that institute was they arranged one of our extra practice class, which was related to our main class. So we practically practiced, for example, conversation in acted dramas. Unfortunately, good teachers left that institute. So institute had downfall. So we also left. However, I did not give up. I started to watch English movies, but did too much struggle to understand the story, the concept of the movies. Let's make this short. In 2012, one of my cousins left Saudi Arabia and went back to Pakistan. I was watching English movies with him, and after a few months, I realized that now I'm able to understand
The camera got.
what the actors were speaking and the story. My father bought a laptop for me, and then I watched many more movies with English subtitles and downloaded dictionaries, translate English to English, and translate English to Urdu. But at that time, I was planning to join English Language Institute. I didn't have the money to get admission there. Right now, I'm not in good in English speaking and English reading and English writing, but my English listening is good. Now I can understand words without English subtitles. In 2019, again in Saudi Arabia, me and my friend were looking for English Language Institute in and out of Hoover City. So one of our colleague recommended us to visit Toastmasters in Hoover. However, one of my friend left his company and switched to another company. So we had to change our plan in October 2020. I went Pakistan on a vacation and come back in May 2021. I made plan to join this institute. So this took time.
Yes.
I had issues. I had issues. I joined late, but finally here I am. So, and wait, I told you about my beautiful region. Yes, it is beautiful, surrounding with mountains, greenlands, villages, running water like river and lakes, and delicious food. Especially in summer, if you have free time, you can visit our northern areas. I bet you all this tour and journey you will never ever forget. So that is for today from my side.
Thank you for introducing yourself. Now we come to know more about you. So now our next speaker is the life of this club. Wherever she goes, she creates enthusiasm, brings enthusiasm to the club. And when I asked her for introduction, she says, no, introduce however you want, but then I want to do justice for introduction. So now she's a unicorn goddess who come to Koba to find her family. And she found it at Horizon, a champion speaker. She herself is a champion speaker. She won all the contests. And whenever she's there in the meeting, it really gives more enthusiasm to people, infuses enthusiasm. Today, she is going to inspire us. inspire. Her topic is inspiring the audience, and the title is Help Me Change the World. The timer, her speech timing is 10 to 15 minutes. That is 12, 13, and 14. 12 at green, 13 at yellow, and 14 at red. Please give a rousing welcome to Lada Lisniak. I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly.
Yes, 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 you are. Thank you. Thank you for that beautiful introduction, my dear. Thank you. Thank you. I'm as good as my club is, and this club is fantastic. That's why I'm so good. Okay. So, hello, my fellow toast gods and goddesses. I want to ask a favor of all of you, okay? I want to ask each and every one of you to help me change the world. Yes? Who's going to change the world with me? Hands up. You can unmute yourselves. Unmute yourselves. Go ahead. Let me hear you. Yeah, I'm going to change the world.
Yes.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Okay. Sounds good.
I want to change myself.
No, not now. Not now, Umar. Okay. So I have another question for you. Does anyone know what country is this flag from?
Ukraine. Go against Russia.
Very
Russia, Ukraine.
Okay, Umar, quiet. Seriously, quiet. Ukraine. This is Ukraine. Does anyone know what is happening in Ukraine right now?
Yeah.
We do. Okay, good. Okay, and those of you who don't, I will tell you right now. What is happening in Ukraine right now is that Russian President Vladimir Putin is trying to change the world. And he's trying to change the world by swallowing back Ukraine into the Russian Empire. But the problem is there is no Russian Empire. The Russian Empire is gone, and it's been gone for a while. Ukraine has been independent for 30 years already. But now Putin, what he said, the tragedy of the 20th century was the breakup of the Soviet Union. That was the tragedy to him. That was the tragedy of the 20th century, the breakup of the Soviet Union. So now he is trying his darndest to put it all back together. But he can't. He cannot. And he's doing it with a war of choice. As we speak right now, he is planning, and he's already invaded parts of Ukraine. And by doing that, he is, did he not learn in the sandbox that you can't reach out and take what you want, right? No, he didn't learn that. No one slapped his hand and said, you can't do that. No, you can't take what's not yours. No. And so what he's doing, he is completely breaking international law, left and right. He's doing that. He's violating treaty after treaty after treaty, saying Ukraine is independent. Do not touch Ukraine. They're an independent country. And he signed all these treaties. But the biggest treaty that's important in this case right now is the 1994 Budapest Memorandum. Has anyone heard of that one? The Budapest Memorandum? Probably not. 1994. Okay. I'm about to tell you about it. Why? I'll tell you why it's important. It's important because in 1994, Ukraine became independent in 1991. In 1994, US, Britain, Russia, China, and France. US, Britain, Russia, China, and France all promised Ukraine, which at the time had the third biggest nuclear arsenal. They had the biggest nukes in Ukraine, third in the world. And they said to Ukraine, hey, if you give it back to Russia, then we promise, US, Britain, Russia, China, and France promises to protect and respect Ukrainian sovereignty and territorial integrity, meaning they will say, okay, you're independent, we're not going to touch you. But guess what? In 2014, 8 years ago, Russia decided to say, you know what, here's a map. Here's Ukraine, if you guys don't know where Ukraine is. Okay, this is Ukraine, this is Russia. Russia decided, you know what? I'm going to take Crimea right here. This is Crimea. This is part of Ukraine, but Russia said, you know what? I'm going to grab it. So guess what? He grabbed it. He said, I want it. And what did the world do? Pretty much nothing. Even though they had this Budapest Memorandum, which said, if something happens to you guys, we'll help you. Russia, who signed it, was the one that took Crimea. So right there, he violated it. And the world really didn't do much. They did a couple of sanctions. You guys know what sanctions are? You guys know what sanctions are, right? You know sanctions. Well, okay, most of you know what sanctions are, right? When you take away something that a country wants, you say you can't have it anymore. That's a simple way to say it. Okay, so, and this thing in Ukraine, what's happening, it's not just Ukraine, guys. This is about democracy versus dictatorship. If he gets away with this as a dictator, other dictators in the world are going to say, geez, if Putin can get away with that, then, well, in China, they could say, you know what, we want Taiwan, and they'll just grab Taiwan because the world didn't do anything about it. So let's see, I'm hoping that the world they are doing things, they're talking about it. Let's see what happens. Let's really honestly see what happens. Now, why do I care so much? Why do I care? I care because I am Ukrainian. I am very Ukrainian. If you haven't figured that out yet, I'm Ukrainian. I actually was born in the States, but I spoke Ukrainian before I spoke English. I did all sorts of Ukrainian things. I went to Ukrainian Saturday schools. I did Ukrainian dance, which I wore. I'll show you what I actually wore. I wore this Ukrainian it's called the vinok, where you have flowers. I'll change my little thing here. This is what I wear when I would dance, and I was dancing all over the states, and sometimes even in abroad. I would do a Ukrainian folk dancing. I did Ukrainian bandura, which is this. Let me show you. This is a very minor, tiny mini version of it. I play this, and I was also touring with the bandura group all over the states. I went to Ukrainian camps. I went to Ukrainian Girl Scouts. I did a lot of Ukrainian things. And also a lot of you know that I actually worked in Ukraine during the fall of the Soviet Union as a journalist. So I have a lot of friends over there. I have a lot of family over there. I have a lot of work colleagues over there. My heart is there. So that's why I care. That is why I care about what's going on in Ukraine. Now, why should you care? Right? Why should you care? Because as our beautiful Sangeeta said, we are one. We are one. This is about humans, guys. This is all about being human. And I'll tell you a story about that. My good friend in Ukraine, I was just talking with her on video recently, and she is an American like me, but she worked in Ukraine, and so she married a Ukrainian man. So she's now in Ukraine, working and living in Ukraine. She was very upset with me, like was saying a little bit crying and say, of course I'm upset. But then I heard her little son, Maxim, he was actually crying in the background. And I said, why is Maxim crying? And she said, oh, because he's he's just worried. I said, what is he worried about? He goes, because dad just left, his father left. I said, okay, well, that's normal, right? He said, well, no, he's actually going to civilian army practice. Civilian army practice, what is that? He said, well, yeah, we're organizing civilians, like all you guys, organizing armies that are ready for the Russians to come and invade. And he's an economist. So what does he know about defending a country? He says, he said he wants to go because he wants to defend me and Maxim and his country. And she looked at me, she goes, Lada, what do I say to him? Because he's so scared. His best friend, father, left one day to go fight, and he never came back. He went to go fight in the Crimea, the 2014, he never came back. So he thinks that every time dad leaves, he's not going to come back. She goes, what do I say to him? She goes, and what does his father say to him? That he's going to fight a war that's a war of choice because someone wants to grab some part of our country? It's a totally nonsensical war. You guys, you're all mothers, daughters, right? You have kids. Sridhar, what would you say to your child if you were going to defend your country? Ricky, what would you say? Philippines, all of a sudden, there's someone wants to grab a part of Philippines. You're going to go and defend it. And what do you say to your son? What are you going to say to your son? Umar, you have an unborn child. What do you say to your unborn child? I'm leaving to defend my country. If someone's going to grab part of Pakistan,
Not at all.
what would you say? What would you say to your child, right? What do we all say? That's why I'm saying there should be care about what's going on in other parts of the country. Now, my question is, what can I do? What can Lada do, right? That's my big question in all this for me. And how am I going to ask all of you to help me with this? What do I do best, guys? I'm not going to go and fight. You know, I'm not going to go fight, right? I'm not going to do that. That's not going to happen. I thought about it, but I'm not going to do that. Now, what do I do best? I lift the world energetically, right? That's what I do best, correct? I lift the world energetically. That's what I do best. I know how to do that. And I also know how to, as Sridhar say, I come in and I raise the energy. And that's what I do with everything. So, and I also know how to create my own reality. So I figured that's what I'm going to do for Ukraine. I'm going to lift energetically. I'm going to lift Ukraine energetically. And how am I going to do that? Well, I did that by I saved my life by doing that, right? With the breast cancer. I lifted my energy and I saved my life with the breast cancer. You all know my story about breast cancer. I saved my life because I changed my mind. I lifted up my energy. Same thing I did with my bulimia. I lifted up the energy. Same thing. I created my own reality. The other thing, becoming a unicorn. You all know I'm a unicorn. It's all fun and playing games, right? But the biggest thing about the unicorn is I figured out how to create my own reality. And the result was the unicorn. That's what the result was. And someday I'll tell you guys, when I have more time, exactly the story, how I became a unicorn. But this is all about creating reality, lifting energy. Because, you know, when you lift the energy up, you go into that magical, unknown place of where anything can happen. The best possible outcome can happen. You don't know what happens in that unknown. So how do we do that? How do we create our own reality? I'm going to give you guys the formula right now. I spent years and years figuring this out, and I'm going to give it to you guys right now. You ready? Get your pens, get your papers. This is how you change your reality. Okay, here we go. Number 1, visualize. Visualize what it is that you want to do. For me, in my case, with the breast cancer, I was visualizing myself healthy. That's what I was doing. I'm healthy. I never told anybody because I needed people to see me as healthy. So that was the first thing. I visualized myself healthy. First thing I did. Second thing to create your own reality, you feel it into your life. Meaning I was feeling already, before it happened, I was feeling, okay, I'm going to feel joyous. I'm healed. Everything's okay. I'm happy. So I was feeling that into my life, that I'm okay, that I'm healed. And the big thing, what Umair said today, gratitude. Gratitude, part of feeling is gratitude. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. What I did in my room, I cut out hearts and I wrote on the hearts, I am healed. All over my whole room. My whole room was plastered with these hearts everywhere, even on the ceiling. I walk in, this is, I am healed, I am healed, I am healed. Every single time I walked in, and it's still there 14 years later. It's all coming off, but parts of it are still there. So it's visualize, it's feel it into your life, be grateful about it. And the third is just let it go. Let go, let God, let Allah, whatever you want to say, let it go to the best possible outcome. So visualize, feel it, be grateful, and let it go, let God, for the best possible outcome. So that's what I have been doing with Ukraine in my own mind all weekend long. Since I heard this started happening, I was visualizing freedom in Ukraine. I was feeling that freedom, how the Ukrainian people will feel, how I will feel, how everyone around the world will be relieved that this crazy man is not doing what he wants to do, is not just going and grabbing things that he wants, that relief. Grateful that there's peace everywhere and in the world. And then I let it go and say, let the best possible outcome. That's the exciting part. You let it go and you never know what's going to happen. You never know. This might change the world order. Who knows what's going to happen when you let it out there and you go into that magical space of the unknown. So that's where I'm going to ask each and every one of you to help me right now. Okay. I want you all to visualize peace in Ukraine. I want you to feel that peace in Ukraine, whatever freedom means to you, whatever in your own world, what that means to you. Be grateful for that there's peace in the world everywhere and in Ukraine, and then just let it go into wherever that means, the best possible outcome for all. Now, how do I raise the energy up when I'm a toast goddess? Unmute. How do I raise up the energy, guys? What do I do?
Power of positive affirmations. Visualize.
No, no. What do I
Visualize.
do?
Dance.
You
No.
inspire.
Dance.
Dance. Who said dance?
Dance.
Inspire.
Yes.
Party. Dance.
And
Oh,
that's what
wallahi,
we're gonna
Mushkila.
do now. When you combine the high energy of dance with my formula of visualizing, feeling grateful, and letting go, poof, magic happens. We change the world. So I want everyone to stand up with me right now, and we are going to dance. So I want you all to get up for me right now, or you can stay sitting if you feel like it, up to you. But I want you to move. I want you to feel it, visualize it. And here we go. This is actually a song that I am
I am doing the
Google
matrix
Home.
style. Matrix
I
style.
asked Google,
Matrix.
I asked Google Home for a song, and this is what it gave me. Listen to the words.
Matrix style.
Omar, shush, quiet, dance. feel that piece.
Great. It was a fantastic speech. You lifted the.
Wait, I'm not done. Hold on,
Spirit.
sweetheart. Thank you, thank
Hmm.
you, and thank you. Thank you all. Can you all put your hands up for me? Put your hands up. All together. All together. Peace together all over the world. Thank you, guys. To you,
Yeah.
my beautiful toast God for the evening. Thank you, my dear.
So thank you so much for this inspiring speech and the way you lifted us, visualization. There's a book called Creative Visualization by Shakti Gwain. It really talks what she has said. Shakti Gwain, Creative Visualization. And the world champion Craig Valentine used to recommend to everyone. Talking about Crimea, I remembered this in my school days, the poem by Alfred Lord Tennyson, The Charge of the Light Brigade. The Crimean War, Charge of the Light Brigade. That is, the cannons to the left of you, cannons to the right of you, volleyed and thundered. So that was a very famous poem we learned. And the Crimean War, and we learned about it. So you just put nostalgic memories into it. So timer has all the speakers qualified. Do we have voting here? No. Sangeeta, do we have voting?
Yes, Eliza, we are having it.
No. She says no.
Okay, no, we're not having it now.
Okay, so by default, Icebreaker has won the best speaker. Anyway, now we go to an exciting, challenging session. That is, it will be by one of the most, I would say, the rising star of Toastmasters, totally in the global, he's a global Toastmaster. Not only that, he hails from a place called Chakwal near Islamabad It's where our Prime Minister Manmohan Singh was also from that place. Not only that, he's been a Toastmaster for almost 2.5 to 3 years, or 2.5, 3 years old. But the way he has created waves, he's an unofficial ambassador of Toastmasters. He's a area director of Area 31. He's there. Whenever he goes to any club, he brings his enthusiasm. He brings 10 members who come. He just, because of him, I knew many Toastmaster clubs in India which I did not know. And the way he always likes to be a table topics master. And he says that he's working as an senior internal auditor at Renault Automobiles. Now he's located in Riyadh, and he strongly believes in transformational service leadership. He loves reading books, teaching, and he plays chess. And he likes to listen to the music and watching movies. And of course, his passion is Toastmastering. Please help me welcome Umar Farooq Awan to be the table topics master of the day. He says he's a tabletop monster today.
Okay. So I did not know all these things about myself. Wow. Come on. I am humbled. I did not know that. I had no idea about it. It's time to be. So welcome everyone to the table topics session, impromptu speaking, improvisation, thinking on your feet, whatever you call it. These are the daily conversation you have. You don't write a speech and answer to your friend. Okay, I will write a speech and I answer you. No, these impromptu speeches you do every day. But in Toastmaster, it will be timed also. So 1 minute is green, 1.5 minutes is yellow, 2 minutes will be red. And this time in table topic, there is a condition I have put. Whatever topic you will ask, you have to start with if. This is the condition. You have to start with if. Anyway, whatever, how you do it, but you have to start with it. Okay, so let's start. Okay, who is Ron? Rona is here. Rona sends Sona. Rona, are you there? You want to try a table topic?
I think she's at work, brother.
It's okay.
Just a
No
patient.
issues. Let's start with Munish. Munish, are you there?
He's there. Munish is there. Munish is there.
Yes, please. Manish, you have to start your answer with if, okay? And your topic is, why do we forget things we don't want to forget? Why do we forget things we don't want to forget? Over to you, Toastmaster Manish.
Good evening, everybody. Why do we forget things we do not want to forget? We forget things because we have so many things in our hand. Our mind is distracted or it's somewhere else. That's the reason we forget it. Many times I plan in my mind that these are the things which I have to do it. But afterwards I realize I made a horrendous mistake. I forget it. Then I realize, why did I forget it? What is the way that in future I should not forget this thing? It is so important for me. For that, I have to jot down that thing. Nowadays, we do not need page or pen to write the things and keep it in our pocket. Those days are gone. But now we have mobile with us, which is always with us. It is part of our body, it has become. Whatever thing which we remember, which we have to do it, which we should not forget it, we should jot down. Or set an alarm that this is the time we have to do it. If I have to attend a Toastmaster meeting at 8:30, why will I forget it? It's important for me. If I set an alarm, that alarm will give me a reminder that I have to set an alarm to attend a meeting. Otherwise, I'll be engrossed in other things. I'll forget it. Afterwards, I will say that why do I forget the thing which I should not forget it? The best thing is only that we should jot down each and everything which comes in our mind. If we're about to speak, some idea strike in our mind, we should write down in our mobile. The next day we remember. We do not have to keep it in our mind always, all those things. Over to the Toastmaster, please.
Wonderful, Manish. Great take on the topic. So next we'll have Arun is raised hand. So raised hand is the Arun. And then RD, then Triveni. Okay, so Arun, are you there?
Yes.
Arun, your topic is what do you have trouble forgiving yourself for? What do you have trouble forgiving yourself for? You have to start with if. Okay.
If I have to take this topic first, I need to be a bit sentimental because I see my very good friend, I rather not friend, let's say one of my role models, Ricky in the crowd. So hi, Ricky, this one is for you. I love you. Yeah, coming back to the topic. The topic was, do I have problem in forgetting? Someone's mic is on, I guess, if you can suggest. I think Mohammed Lamine Kaba, yeah. So, do I have a problem in forgetting or forgive? I think, is that the topic, Monster Umar?
What have you trouble forgiving yourself for?
Oh yeah, so I have absolutely no troubles in forgiving anyone or anything for that matter. I'm very forgiving by nature. In fact, I gave a speech for almost 20 minutes to my club talking about forgiveness, and I'm a big fan of forgiveness and detachment. That part, of course, one knows very well. So on a very serious note, I think the previous topic, which was all about forgetfulness, and this one, which is on forgiveness, I think Monster Umar is again on a very naughty note. I think both have to be combined if you have to lead a very beautiful life. You need to forget the wrong done by others, and you need to forgive and forget all the good things and just move on. Now, why do I keep saying this, and why do I keep promoting this? For one simple reason is that we all need to be a bit selfish once in a while. And if you practice this forgiveness, you will be at peace immediately. And it took me some time to learn because I was born and brought up watching Amitabh Bachchan on the silver screen. So he had kind of promoted that Khoon ka badla khoon, and we need to always go for a revenge and not come back empty-handed. So having been in that kind of scenario all my life, and when I learned that forgiveness is the ultimate thing, I started practicing, and I felt almost like tons of weight going off my shoulders, and I was very cool, and I was very relaxed, and it almost felt almost like a rebirth. And since then, I have been a big fan of this forgiving business, and I speak a lot on that. And given a chance, if you invite me again, I can probably do a workshop on this forgiveness and probably entertain you or make you forgive and forget. I think Lada is very happy. Maybe one of these days. Back to you, Table Talks Master.
Wonderful, a very forgiving reply from Arun. I forgive you, brother. Okay, so wonderful. Next, Triveni. Triveni, are you there? Triveni.
Yes.
Triveni, you want an easy topic, I know.
Anything would work for me.
So you have you'll open the video, or you'll have a voice only?
Yeah, I would go with the video.
Yes, don't be scared. Huh? So next, your topic is suffering a necessary part of human condition? Is suffering necessary part of human condition? Trivedi, start with if.
Last year, when I was suffering from COVID, there were many questions in my mind that, like, as we all know, that COVID was the disease which were like, when we are coming in the contact of the people, then we will be like affected. This was the, like, mainly people had this thing in the mind. So I was thinking that, where, like, I was at home, where did I go, and many things. But rather than I was focusing on problem, not on solution. So in this whole suffering, I feel that there are many good things which happened during this during that period, that I took care of my body, and as well as not only the physical health, but also a mental health. So sometimes what happens that when we do suffer from certain disease or any kind of mental or physical pain, we find that why it is happening, or we sometimes question to the particular situation. But I think suffering is good because it it gives us reminder that where we need to pay the attention, and like where, which part of our body or which part of our mind, where where we need to take care of that. So I think suffering is good. It makes us alert. So that's all. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
For a 1 second, you sold me suffering. Okay, I should suffer also. So you're good salesman. Wonderful. Good attempt, Trivedi. It's very good. Suffering is very good. You should all suffer. Everybody should suffer. Okay. So, Adi, are you there?
Hello.
Adi, all the best for division. So your topic is, okay, is it always good to have choices? Is it always good to have choices? RD. Start with if. Huh?
Yeah. Table topic monster. If life is a choice, then I would have so many. Yes, life would be better with a lot of choices. With choices, I mean. Because without choices, life is boring. Imagine if everything is served to you in a silver platter, whether it's good or bad. I was born not in this situation. I was like a self made man. When I was growing up, I did not have everything. And I have a choice whether to pursue a future that would give me a better life or would just be fine with the life that I have. So, with choices, it gives you opportunities, it opens path, path to greatness, path to wellness, path to better living. What if you're a Toastmaster and you don't have any choice but to remain on one path? Then you don't have growth. With choices, you can tap those potentials, those capabilities, and those capabilities can turn into something great. One day you never know because of your choice to take the challenge to conquer your fear of public speaking. You would be able to show the world that you're somebody better than your old self, not other people, but your best version has become you because you have a choice. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Wonderful attempt, RD. Table topic evaluator will give the comments, but good attempt, very good attempt on the topic. I wish I had no choice sometimes. Okay, so next, Yahya is there. Yahya. Yahya, are you there?
Yes.
I cannot see
Yes,
you,
I'm here.
but I see something in you. Yahya? Yeah.
Yes, I'm here. Yes.
Oh, you are a knight, Mr. Knight, huh? So, Yahya, your topic is, how far will you go to experience something for the first time? How far you will go to experience something for the first time? Yahya.
Actually, the first time for everything is very difficult for me. But with practice, with the training, it will be easier than first time. So it's required the practice, training also, uh, some minutes also. But with the practice, it will be easier. But with the training, it will be easier. But with the practice, it will be easier. But with the training, 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 it will be easier.
some minutes or also. Uh, Could you please again the question so I can think again?
How far you will go to experience something for the first time?
Yes. Also, we have choices and options. We can ask the others for that experience that we will do the experience for that for the first time. We will ask the expert people for this one. And but for me, actually, this is very difficult for me in the first time. Actually, in the college also, first semester is very difficult. My GPA is like 2, but in the finally last thing I got 4 out of 5. So I have difficulty in the first experience, but in as I said before, with the training, also with the training and with the practices, also we can avoid the difficulties. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, yeah. It was a tricky topic, but you did well. Good attempt. You're confident. Wonderful. Keep it up. So, Prathamesh, are you there?
No.
You are not there. Oh, so you will not get a topic. No issues. Prathamesh, your topic is: do those who love us really love us, or they do simply love that what we think we are? I'll repeat: do those who love us really love us, or do they simply love what they think we are? I'll put it in the chat. 1 minute. Okay. Start with if, huh? No ifs.
If I were there present in Riyadh, then I would have killed this monster, this table topic monster. Because after saying this topic, he fumbled a couple of times. And after putting that in chat box, again, it's cramming me in my head. But what does this mean? Do Toastmaster Umar have love feelings for me? He is saying no. He does not really love me. Or simply, he just loves me what he thinks I am. It is not making sense to table topic monster Umar right now, right? But it is making sense for all of us, because all of us have experienced the same experience with Toastmaster Umar. Though he may make fun of us, but from beneath the heart, he loves all of us. He wants us to stay connected, and that's why he sends messages all over the world. And not because simply the way we are, but because to have a funny content and try his jokes on all of us. That's why I think that do those who love us really love us, or do they simply love what they think we are, is perfectly correct with Toastmaster Umar and the relationship between Toastmaster Umar and all of us. Back to you, table topic monster.
Okay, Prathamesh, that is a very good, ladies and gentlemen, that is a very good example. If you don't understand the topic, put it on the table topic master. Okay, use like this and like this. Don't start talking about him. Okay, he's like that. He gives you funny topics. So, but good attempt, and I like the twist you made at the end. I like the pet part. Wonderful. So next we have Nav. You want to try?
I think we have the time.
Yeah, let's roll, my man, Umar.
Okay, last we'll take one. Now your topic is do the simple things become complexities when we try to attain perfection? Do the simple things become complexities when we try to attain perfection? Now, Barar, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster, Table Topping Master, Monster Umar. Give me 5 seconds. Let me recollect my thoughts first. Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, as Henry Ford said, like nothing is too complex or complicated or difficult to achieve if we break it down into simple tasks. When I say simple, I mean the daily tasks we operate. What happens with our mind as we humans, and we listen every day, people around us, we go for one big shot where we win $1 billion lottery, $1 million lottery, and we get rich. What in practical life, things doesn't work like this way. We have to do the things on the really daily basis to get good and then great at anything, whether we are a good parent, husband, wife, a good employee, worker. We have to repeat our activities every day. Not every day, at least 6 days. We can take one day for the God. So I would say, yes, we complicate the things every day, and it happens with me too, because I complicated my things too much. So that's the meaning. That's why I have to come into this meeting because nothing was coming to my mind. So I said, okay, keep the things simple, take a break, and think again. Thank you, guys.
Wonderful, Navbara. Interesting take on the topic. Well done. So with this, I would like to end this table topic monster session. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And in one way or other, all these topics were related to your emotional intelligence, if you see the link. And with this, I would like to hand over the virtual lectern back to our Toastmaster of the day, Sridhar, distinguished Toastmaster.
Sorry, can we have the timer and so I can launch the polls?
Sridhar, you needed to.
Timer.
So,
Yes,
timers,
Elijah.
can we have the timers report, Abu Bakr?
Yes. Manish Gupta is 1 minute 56 seconds. Arun Mawson 2 minutes 19 seconds. Triveni 1 minute 40 seconds. RD 1 minute 30 seconds. Yahya 1 minute 35 seconds. Prathamesh 2 minutes 35 seconds. And Navbrar only 58 seconds.
Please vote more. We have a tie here. Please vote more. Okay, in 5, 3, it's a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I end the poll. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day. You are muted, Toastmaster Sridhar.
He's very emotional.
I think he's on a call.
Very emotional right now.
He's on a call.
No, I'm not a call. Oh, sorry. I'll just. I was muted. Okay. Our next session will be the general evaluation session. It's a backbone of Toastmasters program where we get instant feedback. They say feedback to the breakfast champions. Who else would be leading this segment. She's a dynamic young lady. She's a member of a club which our past president, international president Deepak Menon belongs to. And she is now going to lead this program, to this segment. Please help me welcome Bahar Marwa.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, yet again. And I'm back. Oh my God, I completely forgot about it. And I was like, oh no, I have to be back. So I'm back. And before I do anything, and the best job I have to do is let the others do their job. And I couldn't have done this section all by myself. You see, I'm not that great. So I needed other participants and other role players and other Toastmasters to come in and do their best. So we have a first evaluator, Toastmaster Michelle. She'll be evaluating the first speaker. An amazing woman she is. She is really, really a hard worker, and she wants to be a better communicator. She's a cheerful girl, and she has the most prettiest and most beautiful smile in the entire world. Over to you, Toastmaster Michelle.
Thank you, General Evaluator. What is a wonderful icebreaker, Musab? If this is your icebreaker, then I don't know what you will do with all next speeches. When I heard your speech title, I felt excited to know what might be the content. Also, when we met you last meeting, you already introduced yourself very clearly and left amazing feedback to all members. And I'm sure all of us want to know you more and more. Icebreaker is not just to find courage, to find yourself, to find voices, but to be able to tell your audience who you are as a person. You starting telling us about your story on how you started your journey on learning English from grade 10 until now. You are still striving to learn more and more. How wonderful is that? You made me remember about myself, because both of us sharing similar story. Excellent confidence, no doubt about that. And you made us feel warm and welcome to your life. Your content transactions was extremely well and connected. You told us about how you start learning and how you continue supporting yourself, looking for new challenges, looking for new opportunity in your country and here, and you never said, I am enough. I know English now. I don't know. I don't want to know more. Just a few points I want to highlight it, and it can be considered during your next speech. Although your voice and pronunciation was very clear, but you need to have more voice motivation. I have noticed that your video was zoomed on your face, so it would be better to use also your hand while you are speaking. And I am one of the people that like and love to explore other countries and other places. And I will be one of your members who visiting your country soon. Thank you and good luck to your next speeches. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster. That was a beautiful evaluation. Going ahead, Our second evaluator, Toastmaster Allah. He's a dentist and he loves to see people smile. And he knows sometimes it's nice to get a smile and it's really expensive. I hope my smile is not too bad, Toastmaster Allah. Over to you.
Hello, fellow Toastmasters. Good evening. Today, I will evaluate Toastmaster Lada. Every time she evaluates me, but this time it's different. It's my first time to evaluate, so hopefully we... First of all, Lada, your speech was inspiring and very enthusiastic. Nevertheless, your face was very comfortable to watch, and you were excited. The feeling that you had towards your country, we all understand how sentimental this feeling to you, because we all feel it sometimes. We Saudis had a beautiful day yesterday. Celebrated our founder day. So cheers to you and your country. Back to your speech. Your speech was at first political, so I can't really judge that. I am short in politics, but I can see in your eyes how it was important to you, and you delivered that message to us with your eyes and your voice. It was clear, and we are 100% happy that you expressed that. You talked about how important the country is for you, and you talked about how you used to wear clothes and dance and camps. That was beautiful and emotional for all of the listeners. Also, you asked important questions like, what can I do? And what can anyone do? And that's shifted the speech for us to be with you and catch our eyes and ears with you all the time. I was never bored with your speech, not a minute. Even at the end, you were dancing and I was dancing with you. Everyone was so happy. And thank you so much for the lessons you gave us, because you applied the subject with all of our lives and how to raise our energy and how to feel better about our lives and how to apply it in every stage, with being grateful and visualizing and feeling and then letting go, which is so inspiring and sentimental for all of us now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster. A heartfelt evaluation. Moving forward, I have my amazing tag team who were all their ears were all up and monitoring you and looking at you all the time and counting my ands and ahs. Calling first the grammarian for the day, the dreamer, and today's presiding officer, Toastmaster Sangeeta. Over to you.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. For respecting everybody's time, I'll quickly dive into the things that I've noticed today. Amazing use of words and phrases. Some of them I would like to just highlight. For example, I loved the words never ever forget, delicious food. There were some very informative words and phrases used, like nuclear arsenals, violated it, sanctioned, democracy versus dictatorship. Loved some information about the Ukrainian culture, such as the VNOK. I didn't get it. Maybe Lara will explain it later, with the strings, on hanging from the sides. Bandura, camps, Girl Scout. The phrase "heart is there" about being human, civilian army practice, created my own reality. Lift the energy, the best possible alchemy. The secret formula: visualize, feel joyous, gratitude, let it go, and magical space of the unknown. Backbone of the Toastmaster program, dynamic lady. Forgetfulness, forgiveness. I love the triad used over here. Very important for giving the powerful speech. Opens path to greatness, opens path to well-being, opens path to better living. I also noticed some phrases such as the alliteration, sharing similar story, and how wonderful is that? An expression that is quite beautiful. Connectors. It's very important for us to learn about the connectors, like going ahead, moving forward. And a few corrections I'd like to share is that, do Toastmaster have feeling for me? So it has to be with the word should be does. Does Toastmaster ... have feeling for me? He loves all of us will become he loves all of us. And the word of the day I heard used by Toastmaster Umar, Toastmaster Ricky, and if I don't remember, probably I missed it. Okay, Arun raises his hand. Yes, Arun used it, and twice by Toastmaster Ala. That's from my end. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sangeeta. Going next to the sweetest smile that I can see currently right now on the screen, Toastmaster Ricky, the R counter of the day. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator, Toastmaster Bahar. I would like to give my report and answer it in such a way like I'm answering the table topic session. And I would like to start with if you don't mind. If we start our speeches or maybe deliver them properly with the proper thinking and with the proper pauses, then we could have avoided the use of filler words and sounds. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. My report now as the counter will be as follows. Toastmaster Sangeeta used several as, repeated words, and. Toastmaster Mashael has used several as. Toastmaster Lada, several as, okays, so, repeated words like I'm. Toastmaster Triveni, as, so, repeated words I, we, it, that, like, but, and. Toastmaster Yahya, many as and so's. Toastmaster Pratamesh, as, repeated words the, and. Toastmaster Umar, so. Toastmaster Abu Bakr, a number of and as. And Toastmaster Allah with as, repeated words like for, I, and but. And the top 3 winners for the counters report for tonight are Toastmaster Allah, Toastmaster Yahya, and Toastmaster Triveni. Congratulations, you just won a 1-year subscription without us in Horizon Toastmasters Club. Back to you, Madam General.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ricky. And next, just to keep us on time, is the timer, Toastmaster Abu, who never, ever misses Horizons meeting. So over to you, Toastmaster.
For the prepared speeches, Musab took 4 minutes 35 seconds. Our Lady Lada took 18 minutes and 4 seconds. I have read already the report for the table topics. For the evaluations, Toastmaster Mashail took 3 minutes exactly, and Toastmaster Ala took 3 minutes and 10 seconds. And for the grammarian, Sangeeta took 3 minutes 20 seconds. Yeah, that should be all. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. Just wanted to confirm with Toastmaster Eliza, the table topics evaluation will, I don't see the table topics evaluator.
She is not here, so just pass it.
Thank you so much. It's time for the most dreadful time because I have to present my report and I'm really scared. But the good part of this report is that I didn't have much to note down because it's such a great meeting. Starting with the meeting, the meeting room was open 15 minutes before the start time, and it gave a window for guests and Toastmasters to arrange different role players as well as a window to interact. So absolutely loved it. I'm sorry, I faced a lot of glitches, so I couldn't participate. Was lively as always, Toastmaster Eliza, and got everyone hooked from the moment the meeting started. The presidential address by Toastmaster Sangeeta left us with a beautiful message of feeling of oneness. Thank you so much. The guest introductions were done in time. And I would really recommend a few members who are regular, but if somebody like me who come for the first time, I would really like the regular guests to be introduced as well. Coming to the Toastmaster of the day, distinguished Toastmaster was brilliant. He had his topic in place. He gave examples to make us understand, be it books or captain of Pakistan team, to understand how it is important and why is it important, and really hooked it to the leadership quality that Toastmaster gives an opportunity to build in. The roles were introduced, the role players introduced themselves really well. A point here for me, the general evaluator, would be I should have introduced my role in a better manner. So that's one recommendation for myself. Over to Toastmaster of the day, I would really recommend that before introducing the role players, if you could introduce the section of Toastmaster, the format of the Toastmasters meeting beforehand, it would be better for the new joiners and the guests. Coming to the table topics monster. Absolutely enjoyed the session. I had a constant smile all through the monstrous session that was there, and I love how you connected the dots in terms of the topics that were given were in line with the theme for the day, and I'm sure everyone enjoyed, and the transitions were hilarious and engaging as well. Coming to the evaluators, Toastmaster Michelle, such a heartfelt commendations that you provided. I was hooked over there and I just wanted to listen more and more. You mention all these commendations in such a beautiful manner that I learned a lot today from you. I really recommend you to also add some summarization, sort of concluding the points that would give a better understanding to the speaker to recall the next time they are presenting their speech. Your feedbacks were constructive and on point. Toastmaster Allah, you got the sentiment out there in the speech, which is the key message altogether. So loved it. Great recommendations as well. Again, I would really love if you could summarize your points as well, and in 30 seconds. For the table topics altogether, I'm sorry I did not evaluate the speakers, but I think so. The table topics monster did take care in terms whenever he was transitioning out there in commending, and I wish all of you all the very best out there. For the tag team, they were amazing as usual. Our counter right in the beginning, also towards the end, he gave recommendations and pointers that people can take care when they are participating next time. The timer and the grammarian, I would really recommend if you could have a graphical representation of your data. That would be a takeaway for all the members so that they can analyze the trends that they have been doing, and moreover take away what mistakes not to do in the future. Grammarian had a detailed report, so loved that as well. And our counter, Toastmaster Ricky, I loved your cat as well. So thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Please unmute, TTM Sridhar.
Sorry. Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Bahar means spring in Hindi. And she brought out that spring of wisdom to us. So now, Aristotle said, anyone can become angry. That is easy, but to be angry